Hello, fourth graders. It is great to see you. I have missed you. I always miss you throughout the week and on the weekend. So I'm really excited to be able to teach you again. And today we're going to be learning more about persuasive essays. So before we get started, I would like you to get a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and make sure that you have a hard surface to write on. So go ahead and pause the video and go get those things. Great. So last week we read a persuasive essay and it was titled Bugs Are Creepy. What do you remember about the author's opinion about bugs from this essay? Think. Turn and talk. Okay, good. So yes, you're right. The author definitely did not like bugs. He thought that they were gross and that they bit. And he also said they're everywhere and you can't get away from them. What do you think the author's purpose of writing that essay was? Think. Well, I would say that the purpose was for us to agree that bugs are creepy and that we don't like bugs. So many different kinds of people might read a persuasive essay, but an author usually has a certain kind of audience or reader in mind when they're writing. In this case, the audience probably were people who did not like bugs. Let's take a look at our chart on persuasive essays. So here, this is a persuasive essay, and an example of a persuasive essay is bugs are creepy. And what is it like? We know a couple different things of what persuasive essays are like. We know that the author always has a purpose, and that purpose is to convince us of something. We also know that the author states a clear opinion in the first paragraph. So I'm going to add the author has an audience in mind. So whenever a persuasive essay is written, the author is always thinking, who is my audience? So today, we are going to read and hear another persuasive essay, but it's going to be by a different author with a different opinion. And we're going to be learning about the author's purpose in writing and the audience that they might have in mind. Insects are amazing. I don't like when people call insects bugs. That means that they bug them. Insects don't bug me. I actually think they are amazing. They are cool to watch, fun to play with, and interesting to learn about. Insects are very important because they help plants and animals. For example, ladybugs eat aphids. Aphids eat the flowers in your garden. If you want a healthy garden, leave those ladybugs alone. Also, when an animal or a plant dies, insects eat it to help break it down. If you don't want a lot of smelly, dead animals around, let those insects do their work. Also, many animals eat insects. I bet you think birds are beautiful. If there were no bugs, many birds would die because they need insects to eat. Insects are also cool to watch and to learn about. They do all sorts of cool things. For instance, ants can carry 10 times their weight. In addition, ants and many other kinds of insects like bees can communicate without talking. They can tell each other where food is or where danger is by the way they move, by leaving, or by leaving scents. Have you ever watched all the moths that fly to a light at night? Why do they do that? How come they don't run into each other? These are the kinds of questions that entomologists, people who study insects, ask and get to figure out. That to me sounds like a pretty cool job. Lastly, I don't see why insects are such a big deal since they don't usually bother people. Most insects live under rocks or in places that people don't always go. Most just want to be left alone. It seems to me that we should just leave them alone and let them do their work. When we do see them, we should study them and learn more about them. I hope you will think twice before you kill the next insect that you see. That insect might be food for an animal, or it might be helping in some way you don't know. Maybe if you think twice, you will even agree with me that insects are amazing. I want you to think, what is the author's purpose in writing that essay? Or what was she trying to convince us of? Turn and talk. Yes, the author was definitely trying to convince us that insects were important. And maybe she was trying to convince us that we should study bugs instead of hurting them or killing them in some way. Who do you think was her audience? Yes, people who like bugs were her audience. We know this because she's talking about all the reasons that she loves bugs. So, writers. People often write persuasive essays when they have strong opinions about whether something is good or bad, right or wrong. In the two essays that we've read so far, one author feels that bugs are creepy, while the other feels that bugs are amazing. I would like you to get your sheet of paper ready. And we are going to do some writing together. Okay. Going to move this over here a little bit. And I would like you to title your piece of paper Opinions for Persuasive Essays. Go ahead and do that now. And then the first opinion that we could write is bugs are creepy. You might feel really strongly that you agree with that opinion and that you can write about that. Next, you might hold the opposite opinion, that bugs are amazing. You Also write about that. Okay, writers, I'm going to add one more. You can choose to add this one or not. It's up to you. I bet that some of you will feel strongly that we should have more recess at school. If you're adding that, great. If not, that's okay. And writers, I would like for you to generate or write down at least 2 or 3 more topics that you feel really strongly about. Go ahead. Okay, excellent job, writers. I'm going to add a couple more. One thing that I feel really strongly about is that kids lots of exercise. And then one more thing that I feel strongly about is that watching lots of TV is not healthy. You may or may not agree with my opinions, but these are opinions that some people could hold. I'm really curious to know what your opinions are. So, writers, I'm going to go back to our chart over here. And I am going to write down or add, I'm going to add another example of a persuasive essay, which is insects are amazing. Okay, so today we learned that the author of persuasive essays have a purpose for writing and they have a certain audience in mind. For writing time, you should go to your online writer's notebook each day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And every day you should write in your notebook. I've given you choices. I've given you some prompts and some pictures, or you can choose to write about anything that interests you. I really hope that you'll write about some opinions that you feel really strongly about. Bye for now, writers.